Hello everybody and welcome back to Conor here, All Leeds TV. And that's it guys, cheers to another season in the Championship. Oh listen, I don't know if the weather's cheered me up a little bit, but yeah, that's it, isn't it? That's it. Curtain called on another season, but what a season it's been, and full of joyous, incredible memories that will live with me for a very, very long time. We'll get on what the Magic Man's brought us this season, but just the general involvement in All Leeds TV this year, I just want to say thank you to everybody who's involved me in it in particular, and everyone who's just made the journey so special this year. From opposition fans like Max and Joe and Alex and another Max and Kian and West Brom Fan TV, Derby County Fan Channel TV, all the ones who've done collabs with us, Chris Reeve at Norwich, Talk Norwich City Fan TV, and just everyone who's collabed with me and just us in general. I never thought that the community was like that. I always thought potentially there might be a little bit of hostility and maybe people would be on pedestals, but it's not like that. You don't get any egos, and we saw that at the Football Blogging Awards. It was just terrific, and thank you to everybody, and you know, the ones that are closer to home, Ryan Wilson, Gary Davenport, you know, Ben, and other Ben, and just all the talking shut lads, Raggy as well, and just there's so many names to mention, and it's been wonderful, and especially to the All Leeds TV lot. And I just wanted to do that before getting into the video, because I think a lot of people click on this expecting it to be negative and down in the dumps and stuff, and I am, and we'll get onto that in a little bit. But the general season, you know, and I'm sitting here in the chair as I was doing in Australia, but the amount of stuff that goes into the videos, guys, you know, I'd watch Leeds at 1 a.m. in the morning, and then I'd edit videos till All Leeds TV till 2:30 a.m, sit on my balcony, have my breakfast till 3:30, and then I'd be at work at 5. Do you know what I mean? Like, the amount of effort put into this channel and put into Leeds United, especially this season, has just been monumental, you know, from everyone. I know every fan that does it, every fan that we've met, and every fan that's come over from different countries, and us in particular, All Leeds TV. You know, the amount of mics I've gone through, the amount of lighting and everything that I've been through, and equipment and editing software and all this sort of stuff, the amount it's costing, it's just been mental, and we've done it all for the love of Leeds United. And it's crazy where this world of football takes you, and it's just mad, isn't it? Because no one at Leeds United knows who we are, and the players probably don't know who we are, and it's just crazy the amount of effort me and you put into Leeds United and over a season. And do you know what? I'm quite happy it's over. It's quite a weird thing, really. It's quite a weird feeling, but I'm happy it's over. I'm so drained from this season, you know, as of the stuff that I've just said to you, and following Leeds and getting to every single game and spending the money that we do. But it's just been a wonderful season, and I've enjoyed every minute of it. I've never seen Leeds play like this. I really haven't, and it's been absolutely monumental, and something that I hope continues. I really do. And cheers to Bielsa. Cheers to Leeds. But, you know, it is how it is. We all love this beautiful game, and that's unfortunately how the cookie crumbles sometimes. Leeds just pulled up short on the night. Fair play to Derby. Well done. I didn't expect us to go out the way we did in true Leeds United fashion there, really. But what a game for the neutral it was, and it was just absolutely superb. But I just want to say thank you to absolutely everybody who's involved me. I love talking about Leeds, I'm sure you all know. I'm so passionate about this club, and it bleeds out of me, it really does. And I hope it gets over on videos sometimes, and I hope it doesn't boil over as much as I think it sometimes does. But it's just the raw passion of Leeds, and I hope you all respect that. I just wanted to get that over in the first ember of the video. But the performance, well, yeah, from quite a sombre mood there to something that it quite annoyed me. I'm not going to lie, guys. I think there was only one out-and-out player who turned up in Stuart Dallas. I thought he was absolutely brilliant for the third game running. The team, I just don't think they turned up, really. You know, concentration, focus, two of the real elements you expect to go into a massive game like that with, and we didn't have it on all fronts, unfortunately. I'm not going to go through every goal, but, you know, I presume you know I'm going to pinpoint for certain goals, but there needs to be a shake-up. There really does. And I've said it throughout. You guys know, I get called negative and stuff all the time, and cynical. But I didn't think we're going up. I've said it for months now. And the reason behind that is because I just don't think we've got enough. Even when we're 3 points clear in second place, my old man was having a go and he's like, come on, we're going up. I was like, just not yet. I'm just not feeling it right yet. And it's always the thing with Leeds United, isn't it? We need such a gap to be able to sort of capitalise, or we leave it to the last day of the season. That's exactly what we did. And we left it. We screwed up first position, screwed up second, and we've essentially screwed up third, haven't we, really, in the playoffs at the first hurdle. And it was just such a bitter end to something that's been so wonderful this season, and such a shame. But just the first chapter really closed. You look at Daniel Farke, 2 seasons. You look at Chris Wilder, 5 seasons. And I think you've got to think about that as a project. We haven't got the money that Derby have spent at the start of the season. We haven't got the money that Villa have got. I'm talking for value of player wise. We're a low budget side. The net budget that we spend, it's not a lot of money. You look at us selling Vieira for 7 million. We then bought Bamford in for 7 million, and then outgoings really sort of look at Douglas and a couple of smaller signings and loans. The loans haven't worked, in my personal opinion. The loans haven't worked at all. Bamford has done okay. I'll get onto his performance a little bit in a second, but he's done okay this season. Yeah, I just don't think it's happened on a recruitment level, to be honest. And I think that all culminated last night. We've relied on that youth development so much, and they've been absolutely brilliant. The under-23s, they've been absolutely brilliant. And you've got to give credit to Carlos Corberán and his team, because they've had that seamless transition. The step up has been completely seamless. They've been excellent. And really, really mature and fantastic for the club, and a real credit and something we can build around, like we always do with Leeds United, building around the youth. It's all we've ever done, and it is what we will continue to do in the future. But that game, it was such a shame, because we had the advantage, obviously, with Dallas's goal at the start, and then it just all went tits up, didn't it? It really did. It all went down the pan, really, and it all unfolded after that goal with Casilla. Don't know what was going on there, but I'm still not convinced on him. And you'll see in 2 or 3 videos previous when I got hounded for it, still not convinced on him. And yeah, I would good keeper, handling good, shot stopping decent, but the biggest thing for me as a goalkeeper is your decision making. And I don't know where his head's at with this sweeper keeper stuff. I don't think he's got the quality or the composure for it. And he keeps doing it. And he keeps continuing these things. He's done it at Wigan a couple of times, did it at Brentford once, I remember in particular. Villa, obviously, Sheffield United, and now the other day. And it's becoming a little bit of a reoccurring theme. There's a breakdown in communication there. We've seen it with Silvestri. We've seen it with Weidveld previously. If there's a breakdown from the goalkeeper to the defence, it breeds an absolute panic in the side. And I feel it did that. I feel maybe there wasn't a coherent panic, people kicking the ball out of play and stuff like that. But what I do feel is he did it again momentarily afterwards. He came out again, and then again as well. He comes out and he seems to just stay very far out of his goal, and it causes a lot of panic. And you can see that with the defence. And with the defence, that's been brilliant all season. It's definitely something to look at in the summer for me, 100%. I know a lot of you will say, well, he'll get used to it next season, and I hope he does, because I think there is a good keeper in there. But I think there's a reason, he's not had regular football for a club for many years now. Espanyol been the standout, but he was called back and he didn't really feature for Madrid. And he had a half decent season for Espanyol, but you do wonder why he's been cast out there a little bit. But that's definitely something to look at in the future for me. I'm just not fully convinced by him, and I'm not 100% sure we can go into the new season with a new squad. It'll be interesting to see how Bielsa deals with that, because you could see how visibly frustrated he was with it again, and how he threw his arms up in the air. It'll be very, very interesting. I know opinions differ on Casilla, but I think you're kidding yourself if you're saying you'll be fully convinced by him. Should we progress with him? I think so. I definitely think so, but I think it's definitely one to be monitored. Another one of those in that bracket would be Patrick Bamford. I've said it before and I'll say it again. I think he breaks down Leeds United's play. I think you look at that team away at Derby, you look at that team last night, and you can't just solely blame it on Patrick Bamford, but Leeds' outlet is forward. We offensively move quickly. We're in the channels. That's where we work. We're quick. We're pragmatic and dynamic, as I say in every single video. We're tenacious. You don't get that up front with Patrick Bamford. Patrick Bamford made Piqué and Samori look like Sergio Ramos and Pepe last night. He made them look unbelievable. Keogh bringing the ball out from his own third into the midfield and into the attacking third. You got to look at the midfield there as well, 100%. And I feel the midfield has been slightly off, I'll be brutally honest, for about 3 or 4 weeks now. But you saw it with Villa as well when Tyrone Mings and Twanzebe were able to get the ball and just maraud into the middle. No interception, and they were able to create attacks from that. And it happened again last night, but I feel the defence starts from the front, and I feel Roof Harries and stuff like that. And I just don't think Bamford gives you enough. After his dive in the box, there was just a throw of the hands up, which we've seen a couple of times now. I don't like that at all. And there was a couple of times where Bradley Johnson would drop deep and Bamford would be 3 or 4 yards off him, and he'd just be stood there next to Keogh and Samori, wouldn't be putting the effort in. You'd see Shackleton chasing shadows, Click chasing shadows, and it just wasn't on. And the general feel of a lot of Leeds fans last night was, will we see him in a Leeds United shirt next year? There's a reason it hasn't worked at Norwich. There's a reason it hasn't worked at Derby. There's a reason it hasn't worked at Borough. Have we just got Patrick Bamford on a whim, really? I've sort of Borough got us over with that. I don't know, but I wouldn't be that bothered if he wasn't in a Leeds United shirt next year. And I think a lot of you will agree with that. I'm not sure he's a top striker in this division. I think he's still brackets below the likes of Lewis Graben, Gale, Pookie and Sharp. I think he's still levels below that, and I think he doesn't fit into the system, and I think you'll see a lot of change with that in the summer if we do keep hold of Marcelo Bielsa. But he is a big problem, definitely. I think he scored goals for us, but I think you're looking at goals where they've been sort of 2 in maybe 1 game, etc, etc. But the amount of gilt-edged chances he's missed in the big games as well, it's just not acceptable for me, and I don't like his work rate in this Bielsa system, so he's one who I would definitely look at. I think the youth have been excellent promoting them, into next season, but the one I want to talk about majorly is Marcelo Bielsa. We need to get him down. We need to get him down to a contract. I think the foundations that he's built for Leeds United are something that we really could build on, and something that literally visibly makes me excited, because I think going into the new season, we literally could sign his players. We could get his squad together. He's had that Premier League now where he signed 22, but where he's had a 22-man squad, it's not worked. Will he adapt? Or will instead, he will just, in that 22 cohort, bring in quality players? When he was looking at the start of players like Matic Vidra, players like Harvey Barnes, players like Daniel James, will we get them over the line? When they have contract talks, I wouldn't be surprised if Bielsa goes in and says, I want this player, and I want to, if you can assure me this, and you can assure me that, and you can assure me that as well, A, B, and C, I will stay at Leeds United. If you cannot assure me that, I'm off. And that's what Bielsa's like. He's done it at Lazio, he's done it at Marseille, he's been famous for doing it at Lille as well. He will just, that will be it if he doesn't get the assurances from the board. And that is exactly why he used the word consider last night, because he will consider it. He will weigh up his options. He's built something at Leeds, but will he go into the next season with Leeds United? That depends on Leeds United. But last night, I do feel that Leeds United beat Leeds United. I feel if a Leeds United that we all know and love turn up against Derby, I do feel we win the game. But mistake after mistake after mistake, and you saw how the goals unfolded. We were just horrific at the back, horrific, and it's very uncharacteristic of Leeds United. And I do feel it did stem from Casilla. I feel there was an element of panic, and you could feel that in the crowd. They went in at half-time buoyant, we went in absolutely deflated. And one thing I will criticise Bielsa for is the start of the game and the second half team talks. The first half have just been shocking all season, but the second half recently have been very slumped, and I do feel that needs to improve going into next season. And maybe that's just to getting used to the new philosophy, but us starting quicker, it always puts us on the front foot and it always gets us into the lead. We've seen that with West Brom and Derby in particular, but don't get me wrong, I'm absolutely crestfallen, and I really am, but we go into this period now, we're knackered, aren't we, as a fan base? We're absolutely knackered. I'm absolutely knackered. I'm mentally drained, and I was kicking everything last night. I was in, I pretty much nearly got kicked out of a box last night because I was just kicking everything. Like I'm sure you've seen on the videos when I'm as passionate as I am about this club. But you've just got to contextualise it, guys. If we keep Bielsa, what were we saying weeks ago? If we keep Bielsa, it's more important than promotion, because next year, what can we do? We can build a more viable and a more credible squad to go for that top 2, to go for that top 6, even if you will, and to go in that playoffs if it is next season. Hopefully it isn't, touch wood, but if we do go into the playoffs next season, hopefully we can go in with absolute vigour and quality where we can just dispatch teams. I just didn't feel like we had it this season. I think the 60 injuries, think about that, has caught up with us, which has got to be, I say it every video, it's got to be a championship record. I think we'll have a fully fit squad next season, barring a couple of injuries, because the squad will get used to the sort of soft and hard tissue injuries of a season with Marcelo Bielsa playing in that dynamic squad, and I think we'll get used to it a little bit more, and you'll see players like Douglas featuring for a full season and having a brilliant season. But we've got to keep positive. Hold on. Got to keep positive. Weird, isn't it? But yeah, we've got to keep positive. And the reason I'm positive is because of Marcelo Bielsa. And if we take him into next season, there is a lot to look forward to recruitment-wise, because he will have his targets down. He will say, I want this, and I want this, and then I will stay. And Orta, Conor, and Radrizzani will have to jump to his ship, because he is the person who will get us out of this league. He is the hope we have. If we go into next season having to change philosophies, having to change ethos, I've seen some people say today, if we get rid of Bielsa, bring Houghton in. It's the most stupid comment I've ever seen. You know, what you're going to do, you're going to change personnel. You're going to change, once again, philosophies, as I've just said. You're going to start playing hoofball. You might have a track record of getting in the division, but so did Neil Warnock, so did Brian McDermott. Keep your feet on the ground. Keep your feet on the ground. Pursue with Bielsa. This is a project. This is a project which we haven't been involved in. You look at Sheffield United, you look at Norwich. Project. You've got to build with a project to be sustainable and get out of this league in the most economically viable way. Not going up to the Premier League, spending stupid money, not coming down from the Premier League and having stupidly high wage budgets. It's a project. You even look at Huddersfield, it's a brilliant blueprint. We just didn't get it right this year, recruitment-wise for me, but the players' effort and the manager have been second to none, and the players have been absolutely superb, and the fans. I think I mentioned the players twice there. Thank you for your continued support. Me and the team will be doing a seasonal review. Make sure you like the video, and please keep your chin up, because I think if Bielsa stays, guys, we're in for some very, very good times, even better times than this season next season. I'll see you later. It's been Conor. Cheers.